Whoop.
Oh.
Ooh, that was close.
That was
Oh,
a near
hello.
miss. Near miss.
Hello,
oh,
officer.
Right into.
Yeah, right there. And this is one of those moments where you just kind of think, oh, look at that. I wonder if that guy did that on purpose.
Welcome to Viral Twist. Today's driver stole a BMW and drove as the road owed him money. Jumping curbs, dodging traffic, and losing the bumper, but not the ego. You won't believe how it ends.
No, Marla, this thing has not slowed down at all. That plate on that vehicle is a cold plate, meaning it comes back to an Audi. That clearly not this vehicle. Now, this started probably a good 30 minutes ago, maybe more. We were being respectful following that procession for the fallen law enforcement. This started up in the LAPD area. The vehicle was moving extremely fast. The LAPD was chasing it, but it got onto the freeway relatively quickly, and that was one of the reasons why law enforcement stayed with this car. But at one point got off the freeway, South LA area, and this high speeds, too many close calls, they backed off. Everybody backed off, and then actually the other LAPD units saw this car speeding, tried to stop, and not aware that this was a vehicle from an earlier pursuit, and it continually law enforcement saying, do not chase this vehicle, just too dangerous. Well, in the end, law enforcement, LAPD, stayed above it. Now you can see why they were backing off. That bumper hanging off, I wish I knew the reason why. I'm going to take a look and see if we get some information from some of our friends down on the ground. But you can see right there, this vehicle still moving very, very quickly. Now off on Garfield, very fast. It's a newer BMW, so you know these cars got some power, and it basically has been eluding law enforcement. Now, Sheriff's Department, that's where we are right now. This would be the area that would be chasing it, but because of these high speeds and because of the danger to the public, they basically decided to back off. And Marla, this kind of, this is one of those things where us in the media, we follow these things, we see what's going on, but the reality is this person is running from nobody, running from his own demons, as it would be, because these high speeds are not warranted. Oh, definitely, and you know it is the truth. We watch these things all the time. I've mentioned it before. It's not drama. It's not I'm not trying to play up the situation. When these cars at these high speeds, even right here, you're just going, it's like you just don't want to see anybody get hurt, and he's moving so quickly. It is a BMW. It is more of a performance vehicle, but being driven this hard, that fast, for so long, things get hot, things start to wear out, the driver's probably going to start becoming fatigued, and that just creates, everything just builds onto the danger. Everything builds onto the next thing. And when you see these cars moving so quickly and in total disregard, running every red light, going through every stop sign, cutting people off right and left. It's a miracle that there hasn't been any injuries so far. We watch these things. We're always hopeful that nobody gets injured, and we just want to see that guy go, get those cuffs, get those silver bracelets, and that's the end of it. But right now, you can see we're on Rosecrans. We're back into an area that is a mixed area. There's a lot of commercial stuff out here, but there's a lot of residential as well, and more importantly, a lot more traffic.
Yeah, and slower speeds as they turn onto Woodruff Avenue. The other thing is we don't know how many people are inside this BMW. Obviously, at least one suspect. The car is impaired. We don't know how, Stu, according to you. We don't know why the bumper is hanging off of this newer BMW.
That's right.
Go ahead.
We were hoping that the assignment desk would get that information for us and try to figure out how that happened. It wasn't like that in the beginning. The original stop on that car, basically, as we understand it, was some sort of traffic violation, and then it kind of bumped up, and then they realized those plates don't belong to that vehicle, and now there's information clearly that it is a stolen vehicle. So it's kind of been moving around on what the original want was, but it's very clear that this vehicle moving very, very fast this afternoon, and total disregard for anybody around them. It's amazing that this vehicle hasn't gotten in. Clearly it might have, because there's that bumper dragging off the back there, but hasn't collided with any other vehicles as so far. This is what we're talking about right there. Luckily that light probably turned green. You can see another car making a left right there, but we are going to keep an eye on it. LAPD has 2 helicopters over it right now. Well, cold plated is basically the license plate that's on that vehicle doesn't belong to that vehicle. Also, if everybody was watching right now, some people might be saying, oh, the car is smoking. That is basically dust and debris that's in the emergency lane. And also another thing is, like, when I see pursuits like this one and they get into that emergency lane, I'm always kind of thinking to myself, you know, I hope he picks something up and just gets himself a flat tire just to bring this thing to an end. It looks like we're going to be getting off the freeway right here. There's going to be the 605. And just to make it real simple, cold-plated is the term that most law enforcement use for a license plate that does not belong to the vehicle. So basically they ran that plate. In this case, we actually heard some of that information came back to an Audi. This is clearly a BMW. So somebody had put a different license plate on this vehicle. Right now, you know, the other information tells the law enforcement that this is a stolen vehicle. Originally, how it came about that they wanted to pull it over, that's a tough one. I think it actually was some sort of traffic violation, but we'll figure that all out later on. Well, you know, Marla, that's the thing. A lot of times we'll watch these pursuits, and they'll have a license plate, and they'll know, okay, he lives at this address. The vehicle will make their way to that address, then maybe do circles around there, and that's when the spike strips, there we go. Maybe that's when the spike strips would really come in handy. But in this case, this vehicle has not traversed the same spot twice. This started up in the Rampart area, out by Boyle Heights, and made its way all the way down here to Whittier. Drove through a shopping center right there. The pit maneuver, we both know his driving is becoming a little bit more erratic. You know, we both know that the pit maneuver, there's just not enough. Oh, look at this. He's going to park it. Well, almost perfect in the line. Or maybe he's going to correct it right there. Nope, he's just decided to drive over the curb. That's interesting. But at any rate, there we go. Just keeping it going right there. We'll see what happens right now. But that cruiser definitely making a U-turn, making an effort to chase it. We're just watching this. He's driving extremely more reckless. Even if that officer, oh, geez, here we go. You know, even if that officer had the reaction time that we saw, I mean, right away, lights and sirens made that turn. There's a good possibility Whittier PD also being told, do not pursue this vehicle. We heard it, like I said, wanted to get on this pursuit as soon as we heard it. You know, we heard law enforcement tell their officers several times, do not chase that vehicle. And then when everybody backed off, you know, somebody else saw this vehicle racing by. They got behind it, turned on their lights and sirens. Hey, we're in pursuit. And right away it was like, no, back off. And that's what's been going on pretty much this entire time. Looks like we're making our way back into another shopping center. I don't know if this person is trying to do one of these, you know, bail into an area that's populated to try to blend in. But you can clearly see these are the things I really don't like when they get into these bigger parking lots. You've got people that are just out there shopping or doing whatever they need to do, and you just don't expect a car to come barreling through there. You know, everybody's asking me, I'll put it out on the air. I probably think because we have an airport nearby, I'm guessing that we probably have another 10 to 15 on station, meaning that we have another 10 to 15 minutes to show our folks at home. So anyways, he's staying in these neighborhoods out here, and I can guarantee you, I'll honestly, to anybody listening right now, meaning our bosses or people at home, Adam, our pilot today, keeping us safe. Believe me, we have El Monte Airport very close by. We're definitely not going to run the helicopter out of fuel, but as soon as we have to go, we definitely will. Whoop! Oh, that was close. Oh,
near miss.
Hello, officer.
Right into.
Yeah, right there. And this is one of those moments where you just kind of think, oh, look at that. I wonder if that guy did that on purpose. Yeah. So anyways, this is just, and it must be so frustrating for law enforcement to have that suspect like come right up on you like that, and then have your supervisors just say, yep, no, you can't, nope, don't engage. So that it must be just, you know, they're people just like you and I, and you're telling them, don't do your job. And it must be so tough for those guys and gals in law enforcement. Right now you can see we're in a very residential area out here, not too super familiar with Whittier, except that there's a lot of trees out here, and you can see him kind of weaving his way through there. Some stop signs, and then back into that tree-lined area, which is always an issue. Law enforcement definitely in the area. I haven't seen him pop out, Vinny. I haven't seen him pop out yet. And then LA, one of that black and white cruiser is right behind him.
I saw that. Yep.
Yeah, there he goes. So let's see where he went. He went up the street, or not.
Well, that
he parked
cruiser
by a
just
driveway
stopped.
down there, somewhere down there.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah, that's the officer running.
Okay.
So, Vinny's gonna keep an eye on that officer, see where he's going right there. But apparently the suspect is out of the vehicle and apparently is running. So I'm gonna get on the get on some of the radios.
Bottom
push
running.
it down, push it down, push down, push down.
That could be the suspect.
We're moving Skyfox here to get that shot again with these trees. So we're working to find him too, Marla. We definitely are.
Okay, well, that's great news. Great news. This stolen vehicle suspect led authorities on quite the high-speed pursuit.
There he is. There he is, right there. Being taken. There he is, right there. Being taken into custody off of Greenleaf.